Okay. All right, good morning, everybody. Thanks so much for being with us. It's time for our segment called In Case You Missed It. I'm Joy Limnacker and here with Brooks Baptiste. In case you missed it, Brooks did a big interview this morning.
You know, we always say one of the greatest parts about being journalists and whatnot is the front row to, history or just some of the interviews that we're blessed and able to do. So today was a different one. Had a chance to catch up with Nick Cannon about the Wild 'N Out tour that is here in Atlanta, making a stop at State Farm Arena today. And I know, Joy, somebody's asking, did he ask him about all the kids? I guess you'll have to wait and see. Take a look.
It is official. The Wild 'N Out Tour hits Atlanta tonight at State Farm Arena. And here to talk all about it, can you believe we've got the one and only Nick Cannon and Rip Michaels in the building. Good morning, good morning. And yes,
hey, I'm blessed.
And a live studio audience as well, if you didn't hear. That's what the big names do. They attract people into the studio. It's great to have you fellas here.
Man, it's great to be here. I mean, it's Atlanta. I mean, it's interesting, man, because this tour is so special, especially with me and this brother, because we've been doing it since its inception, and I mean, I couldn't have done it without him. I mean, obviously the tour, the show in itself has been successful, but the tour is something that we've been doing for a few years, and to be able to bring it back to the A is exciting.
How important it is for you to be back in Atlanta right now? Because, I mean, it's the A. There's only one place like it, right?
It is. The last time I was here, we did the Fall Back in Love tour, and then that's what I had a heart attack last time I was here. So it's very special to be here again. Last August was a rough one. I had been in the hospital ever since. So right now, I feel blessed in the opportunity to be here. So yes, I celebrate life.
And it's good to see you. You look good, looking healthy and everything.
I got my little Ross Celeste church shirt on.
He said it's Ross Celeste church. I love that. I think for people who have seen the TV show, they kind of get an idea of maybe what to expect, but this is the live version. So is it going to be different than the TV version, or what can folks really expect?
It's everything that you love about the television show, but in a concert environment. So when you feel all your favorite games, you're going to laugh, you're going to dance, you're going to have a good time, but it's just amongst 20,000 people, you know.
What is it like with 20,000 people being in the crowd and their energy? I can only imagine what it's like.
Yeah, well, if you're ever a fan of the show, you see our studio audience feels like part of the show. You know, they're laughing, they're dancing, they're interacting, and we're doing that same thing. So we're bringing people on stage. You know, we're making people a part of the games and each of the events that go on. We're going into the audience, so it's really one big party.
Yeah, Rip, so this is the thing for me. Like, if I happen to ever be in the audience, I'd be a little nervous, especially if y'all ever did, like, the family reunion game. Because I don't know what y'all are going to say. Yeah. You know, nobody's safe when you're in the audience.
He already been rocking on that.
You see what I'm saying?
No, but you do got the official drumline suit on. I'm telling you, the new Devin Miles from Drumline 6. I'm just saying. But that's what happens. And we doing it in the round. A lot of people don't know. We're in the round. So we do it like a Coliseum. We're straight there in the middle. So every seat is a good seat, and everybody just goes around, and we're just so interactive. And Nick will grab everybody, especially if they older and they look cute, because he loves older women.
I do. It's a fact.
We ain't even gonna go there, all right? We're gonna leave that one alone for a second. Okay, so for the audience that is there, you know, people may not understand, how old do I really need to be around there? Because obviously there's an adult audience, but what's the target audience here?
Nah, it's a family show. I mean, just if you're a fan of the show, you should come on out. You know what I mean? We know how to keep it clean enough for you not to have to cover your kids' ears.
Okay, all right.
But it's definitely the same vibe that you see on television. So we walk the line, but it's a family-friendly show.
Any surprise guests we can expect?
Oh my God, so many! It's just going to be crazy. When I tell you the amount of guests that are coming, because I don't know, Nick is downplaying a little bit, but he's been celebrating over 21 years and probably the longest running urban television show in history.
Congratulations!
So this man deserves flowers.
Congratulations,
for creating something that's
man.
a legacy right there. So everybody in Atlanta is coming out. That girl Lele, Funny Marco, just so many different athletes, so many different entertainers coming. It's just going to be crazy. Plus we got Waka Flocka, Lil Boosie, Narda Wick. 42. It's just going. When I tell you so many people, it's going to be a full show, and then the concert at the end, it just don't stop.
And all of Atlanta's going to be there, and you need to be there as well. Fellas, thank you so much for being with us in the Wild 'N Out Tour. Again, hitting the stage at State Farm Arena tonight. If you want a ticket, be sure to head over to AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Guys.
All right. Now, I want to let you know about this issue here involving schools and involving some parents that are pretty upset, actually, about you know, what could be happening to 2 elementary schools in the metro that are facing the possibility of closure. So happening tonight, parents are going to express some of their outrage, their concern about this issue. So they're planning to pack a Fulton County School Board meeting, voicing their opposition. Atlanta News' First Don Shipman is with the First Alert Breaking News Tracker at the South Learning Center in Union City, where a lot of parents are planning to show up tonight.
School leaders say this has nothing to do with academic performance. Instead, student enrollment, or in this case, a lack thereof. I've been going over those numbers and sifting through school board minutes. So have parents, and a lot of those parents, they plan to be here tonight for this school board meeting. These parents are mobilized. The 2 schools facing closure are Spalding Drive Elementary in Sandy Springs and Parklane Elementary in East Point. On trend with the rest of the country, Fulton County leaders say enrollment is down. For example, Spalding's PTO president says enrollment at that elementary school sits at just about 350 students. Fulton County Schools has a threshold of 450. The district also citing aging facilities. The mayor of East Point thinks there could be a better way to grade or determine if a school should close.
Moving forward, they should really focus on serving the needs of the community and really making schools that meet those needs. So does that mean building smaller schools? They could. Why is it that there's only one model?
That school board meeting gets underway at 4:30, rounding out at 7:30. The public comment period, that starts at 6. We're in Union City. Don Shipman, Atlanta News First.
Vice President Kamala Harris will be back in Atlanta tomorrow, and abortion is expected to be her focus. The visit comes on the heels of a viral article from nonprofit news outlet ProPublica. The report says the deaths of 2 pregnant Georgia women could have been prevented if doctors were able to provide unrestricted abortion-related medical care. Atlanta News First reporter Abby Castoris looks at what could happen next.
ProPublica reports that the state agency tasked with reviewing maternal deaths found that the deaths of at least 2 Georgia women were preventable. Shawana Moore says after more than a decade in women's health care, the state's 6-week abortion ban, with few exceptions, goes against everything she learned in medical school.
And it's really disheartening and heartbreaking as a healthcare professional.
ProPublica talked with the family of Candy Miller, one of the women who died. A mother of 3, they report doctors told her another pregnancy could kill her. She ordered abortion pills online, but there were complications. She needed a procedure to clear tissue from her uterus and stave off sepsis. She was bedridden and in extreme pain before she died. Family told the coroner she was afraid to visit a doctor because of Georgia's anti-abortion laws.
So I truly believe we'll hear about more stories for many years to come because of the overturn of Roe v. Wade.
This comes after the overturn of Roe, which led way for states to pass legislation like Georgia's Life Act, one of the most restrictive laws in the nation. Here, doctors could face felony charges and a decade in prison if they perform a procedure after a heartbeat is detected.
This is a completely new landscape when it comes to providing reproductive health care, including abortion care.
Governor Brian Kemp defending Georgia's Life Act, saying it not only expanded support for expectant mothers, but also established clear exceptions, including providing necessary care in the event of a medical emergency, citing guidance from the state's Department of Public Health sent to medical providers. On Wednesday, presidential candidate Kamala Harris announced a visit to Atlanta, campaigning on the issue of abortion access.
You guys may have heard the story, many here, about the stories about the horrendous, most recent stories about what happened in Georgia. Many of these Trump abortion bans that make no exception for rape or incest, it's immoral.
Senator and vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance said in an interview on Sunday that both he and the former president do not support a federal abortion ban. They want abortion limits to be set by the states. In Atlanta, I'm Abby Castoris.
All right, let's turn to this issue in DeKalb County where teachers are really fed up with paycheck issues. So they say that they're navigating everything from delays and payments to not getting all the money that they earned. Atlanta News First reporter Brittany Ford tells us more.
This is the latest letter sent to DeKalb County School District employees. In that letter, the district says it will have all payroll issues resolved by September 30th. That includes back pay of what's owed and checks that were never received. Atlanta News First spoke with a district employee who asked to remain anonymous.
September 15th was supposed to be when we got the step increase. I did not get that. That was not reflected in my check. It was also short a significant amount of money because of some, code that's been on our checks.
She says the late and inconsistent payments are affecting her livelihood.
So it's very hard to budget. It's very hard to know if I can afford to pay all my bills. And, I've been having to move money from my savings to cover things.
District officials say the errors are due to a new payroll system. Deborah Jones, president of DeKalb Educators Organization, says employees have continued to get the runaround about their paychecks. She says Superintendent Devon Horton's memo advised employees not to come down to the district.
He sent something out on Friday, said, don't come down to the district. We got this. I mean, how do you say that when people don't have their money? And then how do you ask them to wait until the end of the month?
Jones says she doesn't believe the issues will be resolved by the end of the month.
What if the money's not there? What if the people decide they're not going to work anymore without being paid? What's your plan then? You don't have enough people to cover all of.
Brittany Ford, Atlanta News First.
And more on that and all of our top stories on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. Also by downloading our free app where you can get updates sent right to your phone. Thanks for joining us.